Shit.
For anybody who missed that.
Holy shit.
Okay. I have everything all situated, don't I?
I want to. So,
Okay. Yeah.
obviously, we're discussing spoilers. So, anyone who's watching this that hasn't seen the coffee table yet,
do not watch this.
Yeah,
do not watch
this
or listen to this.
Yeah,
I think we're
watch Coffee Table if you want to.
Are we 50 or 60 episodes in and we've never said, hey, spoiler alert? Like every episode, all we do
every
is
now
discuss.
and then I'll bring it up if there's
I assume it's a given, but I just want to make sure that nobody's all like, oh, let's see what they thought about the coffee table. And we just open with like, fucking babies. Like,
The thing is with this one, because I was thinking about that. I'm glad you said that, Josh, because every other movie, I think it's like, okay, you're listening to a movie podcast. I mean, I know other people do spoiler-free reviews, but that's for TikTok for like 30 seconds or 60 seconds.
You can't have an hour plus.
It's not
or
gonna
30
work.
minute
not
plus
on
thing
one movie.
Not on one movie for sure.
But but more importantly, if you were to tell me that this was going to be the plot of a movie called The Coffee Table, never in a million years. I never would have guessed that this is what the fuck it was.
That was the intent behind the name of the movie. Yeah.
They nailed it. I thought
going into it, I mean, I didn't know what to think because it is such a vague name for a movie, which is perfect. But like, I was like, recently, when evil lurks, like, there's recently been like so much like Satan devilly stuff that especially out of Spain, that I figured like maybe it was gonna be a cursed coffee table and like it opened the portal to hell. That's or some shit.
Everyone
I think
thought.
We all went in. Yeah,
really?
We all went into it thinking
awesome.
that.
I knew the basic premise because it got spoiled for me when I Googled it to like see where it was streaming or something. But I was I was at like a work event and they're like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, I don't know if I want to tell you. I was like, I'm watching apparently a supremely fucked up movie about a coffee table. And they're like, is it like a cursed coffee table? And I'm like, I don't think it is. I think somebody just like falls on it and it kills a baby. And they're like, what? Why did you watch that? And I'm like, my friends want to do a podcast about it. Everyone's telling me it's a good movie.
We're those friends, guys.
I gotta check it out. I was curious. I had like 10 people fucking tag me in this on TikTok. We're like, did you see this yet? And I'm like, no, man. Like, I've seen everyone's reactions and I was like, I'm not ready for that. Like, I gotta set aside time. I gotta take a breather. I gotta be ready to watch like, what I say, Mallrats or like 8 episodes of SpongeBob after this. Like, I can't.
Patrick.
Well, yes, I had no idea. It was when I had first heard about it, when I first saw the poster and saw the first like TikTok reactions where people were like, this is the most fucked up, most brutal, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, is it a cursed coffee table? And it just does evil like it causes people to like self-harm and like do fucked up shit or what?
And the opening scene doesn't help you think that it's not going to be that because that dude sold the fuck out of that coffee table.
Every part of this movie was played so perfectly balanced to where even once like the shit's gone down, I'm still like, maybe it's coping mechanisms because I don't want dead babies, but like, so like I'm like, oh, well, it's not a dead baby. Like maybe it's not a dead baby, and that's the fucking joke. Because like, I honestly would have loved this movie even more if most of what happens, and then somewhere towards the end, before everything goes fucking insane, the baby just starts crying. And the thing under the chair was like related to the neighbor or something. Like it was a complete setup.
Like he had slipped and accidentally dropped the entire baby under the chair, but found something else next to the coffee table. And it was like, oh no, I've killed my baby.
No, like the baby's completely fine the whole time. And they, just to fuck with the audience, played the movie like a horror. But it's based on him being like, he's more so
That's
socially
a brilliant
awkward.
idea. I love that idea. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Like it's fucking like
he really did just cut his finger the whole time.
He's just awkward. And he's like burying all this bullshit in his real life and is playing it like a horror movie. And then and it's like, oh no, you're the sick fuck viewer. You thought it was a dead baby the whole time.
If you wrote this movie, my weekend would have been way better. Like that would have been.
Dude, that's kind of how I felt about it. I was like, man, I do, however, I don't love the ending of this one, but still a pretty funny joke.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's the joke?
That this is how those weird, like, true crime mythological cases are created, where it's just like coffee table, like
right.
Like I like that, but it's not nearly as funny.
No.
Well, and I'm not saying this to sound, I don't know, fucking on like a weird like parental moral high ground of sorts, but just when I see it listed as comedy, I don't get it. Like I don't get it. And I saw a lot of people saying like, oh my god, like dark comedy, and like there's parts it's funny, and just people are laughing out of extreme discomfort of like,
it's gotta be.
I saw a review on Letterboxd. I was going to save it later, but it fits exactly what you're saying, where a woman said, this is one of the cruelest films I have ever seen. It's classified as a black comedy. And by the way, she liked the movie. Like, she's not shitting on the movie. She actually rated it 5 stars. But I mean, it's pretty fucking cool. It's classified as a black comedy, but any laughs you may elicit are a result of your anxiety pounding your insides to a pulp and your desperate need for respite. Watch this if you are in the mood to suffer.
It's a laugh because you're just in like a disbelief of what is happening. Like, is this still going on? Like, is the anticipation and the tension still building, and a little bit of laughter because of that? There's not like I don't know. There's nothing funny in the movie.
No. I was like, I'm trying to think if I laughed or if I just said, "Oh, come the fuck on!" Like when she heard the dripping through the baby monitor. She's like, it sounds like something's dripping. And I was like, oh,
that was
no.
the moment that I was like, oh.
I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Like up to that point, it could have gone either way. Like,
that's where they really cemented
that's the other thing is, I don't know if I'm even like really qualified to speak on whether it's funny, because in my mind, there was 2 movies going on at the same time where like one of them is, it's just a dead baby, which, but and then the other one, like I'm finding the comedy to the other side of it, but that's not once it's actually a dead baby, that stuff isn't funny. That stuff's not there anymore.
Right. I think the funniness to me was from a writer's standpoint, imagining the writers and the director and the producer and all the people writing that script and putting in dialogue like that because they know you're going to have that reaction. The other one was later whenever his brother shows up and he's, playing with the toys and the guys, or Jesus is just standing in the doorway, and the brother looks at him and he goes, "You look dead, man. Like, what's the big deal?" And you're like, dude, stop it. If only you fucking knew right now. Mm-hmm. Like, that is where the comedy is because like, those are the moments where I was laughing, but obviously it's not a funny subject. But the other parts were because of the tension that was going on, because it just didn't stop.
I feel like it kind of borders on that Dead Alive comedy, but without the like cartoonishness.
Yeah.
Where like the first half of it where he's trying to like hide that everything's going wrong in this house.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what there was part of my brain that was expecting that when I read that it was a black comedy. Is when I hear black comedy, I think of like Dead Alive. I think of Texas Chainsaw 2.
Right.
Or like these crazy slapstick, gory, like over the top, edgy shit. And so I was like, oh, they're gonna like. I thought, okay, the baby died, but now like somebody else is gonna die. Like the brother's gonna walk in and then slip and also like break his neck on what's left of the coffee table, or something's gonna happen to the wife, and it's become like this slapstick gore fest. Right. But instead, I'm like, oh no, we just have to fucking stew in this tension, while the sister-in-law or whatever is like, look at this adorable little hat, and I'm like, stop talking about the hat. Stop talking about what you want to put on the baby's head. Stop. Fuck you.
If only you knew it was right by your feet.
But it's also because you obviously see everything that took place, so you're in Jesus's shoes, right? Mm-hmm. And you're trying to like, there's it's hard to criticize him because what do? You know what I mean? There's nothing you can really, there's no way you're in the right state of mind to make a right decision at any point.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And he's just trying to figure that out somehow. And he's obviously in the worst state of mind that you could be in. And you're like you said, you're stewing in that of just like, what do you do? Like,
I
fuck.
Genuinely am shocked that it took him as long as it did to start contemplating suicide. Because as much as I don't condone it, if I was in his situation, looking down at this, I would have been like, I'm done.
He did. Isn't that the first thing he did was contemplate?
Oh yeah.
And then he started to like,
he goes out to the balcony.
Yeah, but I thought he was going to kill his wife. Right, like they kind of started to hint towards that when he had the
knife.
Yeah,
I thought one of the things that I thought was maybe it was gonna, once it was like definitely a dead baby, I started thinking like maybe he's gonna try to spin it or something. Maybe not him purposely trying to spin it, but like some shit happens with the crazy daughter or the crazy neighbor.
I thought that too.
Like she gets the blame for it somehow.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna try to frame her.
Going into it, once I realized it wasn't a paranormal thing. Well, even before that, like I thought it was either paranormal or here's a crazy journey of a couple on their way from their apartment to get a coffee table.
Oh, okay, right.
Or hey, here's a crazy thing that happened on the way home from getting a coffee table.
It's like baby's day out.
Right. And then, and then once those didn't happen, then I thought for sure that it was going to be him running and trying to leave and just escape because he couldn't handle it. And he just runs.
Yeah.
And everything
I'm really glad that for his character that I like that in every aspect of this, except for the dead baby, pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
except for them fighting.
Yeah.
You can tell it's just a marriage on the rocks, and it's just
But
even that had a resolution.
Yeah,
sort of
came together for a minute
before they commit suicide.
Yeah, the dialogue of their passive aggressiveness was so fucking good. Like, I could only make one decision per decade.
Yeah,
it felt they did such a good fucking job of capturing
everyone in this movie carried. And like, again, I don't want to see a dead baby, but I am impressed that they never showed a dead baby.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been the easy way out.
Yeah. So glad they didn't.
Yeah, I'm fucking very glad.
That slow pan on the ground to just barely seeing the head underneath the chair was really well done. Which I never thought
this movie, more than anything, shows how good amazing cinematography, editing, music, and acting can imply a far worse thing sometimes than actually showing something.
Yeah. That's where I was really just sitting on this for a couple days before I could bring myself to logging it on Letterboxd because I was so conflicted on it's a great movie.
It's a great fucking movie.
The subject matter's fucking awful. So it was just like the way it made me feel, it's a half star, but I feel in execution and also like my love for horror in particular, and I'm probably speaking for all of us when I say this, but it's that one genre that could really get you to feel something. And goddamn, did this movie do that? Like you really feel
it's, and like that's art, right? Like good or bad, it fucking made you feel something.
Yes. Yeah.
I think this is one of those movies. I was talking about that with a friend of mine about how common it is for people online now to get pissed off if a movie doesn't go well or doesn't have like a happy ending, and they're like, that movie sucks, like it was so sad. And I'm like, that's why it was fucking great, is it was sad and unexpected. Like there's a reason we have things we call comfort movies.
Right.
Watch those instead. Like I don't want every movie to just be like, and they end up together happily ever after. Like, no, sometimes I need shit to be bleak, and then I'm like, okay, maybe my life isn't so bad. Maybe
right?
Maybe I won't buy that coffee table.
I'm pretty good about my life right now.
I do have two glass end tables though that I am.
Get rid of that shit.
And here's the thing. This is why I don't fuck with glass.
In this whole case, Jesus.
Do not fuck with glass, bro.
Oh no! All my Funko Pops just eyeing me like, nah.
I swore off glass coffee tables and end tables a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just out of paranoia for this exact same thing.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
They're just bad for your shins.
Yeah.
I'm big and I fall. Like I don't fall a lot, but like I'm clumsy and I've seen it, bro. I've seen it play out, bro.
Yeah. Not into it. What's funny though is well, not funny. It's kind of more alarming. Is going down the reviews on Letterboxd. There were so many people who trashed the movie. Obviously for the content, but there was a lot of people who claimed the acting sucked. And then there was a lot of people who throughout the course of they kept saying that the movie needed to be a short film instead. That it was a crazy concept
say that
once the hammer dropped, essentially the rest of the movie just dragged and dragged and dragged and dragged. And I thought that was a really interesting look and examination because it shows so many people the initial shock of seeing what happens is there. Yeah. But then it's like after so long, they become removed from the event. And I'm like, how do you so it's like at what point does this whole concept that we're watching unfold lose its like impact?
So I wonder if it's not that it loses its impact, but that it has too much of an impact and they don't want to fucking deal with that shit. They don't want to think about those emotional, like I feel like we're all pretty in tune with our emotions and like, for better or worse, we're going to let ourselves feel shit because
I didn't want to feel it. Like I did not want to feel it.
But you were able to allow it to happen and
because I got to talk about it for 90 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Right. So what you're saying is that all those people need to start a podcast so that whenever they watch a horror movie,
and then they'll watch the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because the other side of it is either you are completely desensitized because watching that movie should not make you at any point go, all right, guys, okay, whatever.
I'm
baby
bored.
lost its head.
No,
and I think that's. Yeah, I wonder if that's from
anything. A dead baby is never boring.
I wonder if that's because all the hype and everything built up was that moment early on, and then there's nothing that graphic or jarring or anything for a while. But it's like that's the whole point. Is you're supposed to just be like sitting in this tension of like when are they going to find out that there's a dead fucking baby in the other room, and that's like what and you're just like stewing in it, and that's the point of the movie is to feel that like. It's so my heart was in my fucking throat the whole time. I'm
fucking
just like,
ridiculous everything else going on around that moment is in comparison to it. Like, maybe that's where the comedy is.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
I guess I just couldn't see it because of.
Understandably.
But you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess. I mean, everything going on with the neighbor's daughter. The salesman that shows up and
trying to hit on him
starts like hitting on him. So I guess there's those things.
Yeah.
I mean, even
that neighbor's daughter, dude.
Yeah.
My review on Letterboxd was just, I guess that's one way to deal with a pestering neighbor.
Yeah.
At least they got her off his back. She doesn't want him now.
Oh man.
My favorite Letterboxd review was Weekend at Babies.
I saw that. My other funny or my other favorite one was Bro got Butterfingers.
Hold on. And the last one, this is from Adrian, which I want to specifically call out because amazing. Invited a boy over to watch this and it ruined the entire night. A+.
Definitely not a date movie, I would say.
No. But to go off of that same kind of not that same thing that you just said, but what we were talking about a minute ago, one of the reviews I wrote down to kind of to emphasize this point was a word of advice: never buy into the hype about quote most disturbing, totally fucked up movies because they are often extremely lame, juvenile, and tame. And I read that, and I read that from so many people, and I'm convinced either everybody who felt that way about this movie is far more fucked up than the movie makers themselves, or it has to be something to the effect of creating distance from what they're watching to protect their own emotional journey that they go on through watching that, because that was very harrowing experience to watch. Because there's no way in fucking hell that movie was tame.
No, yeah, I need
also
examples
think it's that
then.
Nowadays, most people, those people specifically, think that brutality and like a fucked up movie has to be gory. And clearly this movie proves like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
no, exactly. That's why I'm like, what are these edgelords thinking is actually what's up to their fucking standards then? Because like I watched Terrifier 2 and I'm like, this is funny. It's super gory. It's just a movie. But then I watched this and I'm like, it's just a movie, but fuck, that made me uncomfortable.
That's a great
it's so
juxtaposition there.
Absolutely.
Those two movies next to each other, like one extremely gory and kind of comical.
Dude, honestly, that's the perfect like two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Like, name a more fucked up movie that is on either end of it.
Right.
Yeah. In this one, with no gore, just concept.
Well, and I think what happened with this one, because I was thinking of When Evil Lurks, because we talked about how you were worried this wasn't going to live up to the hype because you didn't think When Evil Lurks did. And I think what the difference is there is When Evil Lurks starts with this super gross, rotten dude in a bed that is just like very unsettling, very disgusting. Escalates to pregnant woman taking an axe to her own face a few times. Pretty fucked up.
Fantastic.
Escalates to dog mauling a small child and dragging her leg through the house.
Fantastic.
Even more fucked up. Escalates to woman eating her own kid's brains out of his head while she drags his corpse like outside. To kid eating his own grandmother and puking up like her jewelry and hair. So When Evil Lurks was fucked up in steps. Like it kind of like it escalated to get more and more fucked up, and you're like, how is it going to get worse? And you're like, oh, it's just going to be gorier and more gross and more fucked up. Whereas this one's like, we're going to start with the one thing you kind of see coming, but you hope doesn't fucking happen. Because it can't get much worse than that. And then we're not going to save you with anything funny or more ridiculous or like distracting. You're just going to sit in what you know happened, and you have to keep the secret with Jesus.
Well, what makes
that's a good way to put
it. Way more hard to watch than something like in When Evil Lurks. Like it's believable. There's nothing supernatural about it. You know what I mean? Like it's clear. Like you can't tell me one of your worst fears is being killed by zombies or fucking vampire. You know what I mean? But this could legitimately be someone's worst fear.
I'm going to think about this every time I purchase
is one of my worst
a piece of furniture.
One of the reasons why I don't want kids or glass tables.
But dude, there was it was sadly like this happens. The stuff like this happens all the time. Like I saw an article last year of a dad who dropped his daughter off at school and was bringing his infant to work and just got to the parking garage and forgot the baby in the back seat, and of course it died because it got too hot. And like I don't know how to. There's no justification in that kind of behavior, but it's not like the dude intentionally murdered his kid.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I was like, holy shit, like that's awful.
Yeah.
And then I've read through that, and then it started listing off so many different instances like that. Just accidents that happened of a slip of a mind, which I don't think that's enough of a justification for forgetting your fucking kid. Like, oh, I forgot. But like, I don't know. It was an infant, maybe like lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm
Put
not
an Apple tag on it or something.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
But you read about that. There was a kid a few years ago who was playing around on his dad's I don't know if it was like a fucking junkyard thing or whatever, and he got stuck in a refrigerator because if you go inside the refrigerator and close the door, it locks and you can't open it from the inside.
All the time.
You see these, you read about these tragedies. Fucking every time I watched MTV Cribs and somebody had something heavy or sharp mounted above their bed, I'm like, are you out of your fucking minds? Like,
fuck that, bro. No.
We have earthquakes,
I freak
man.
out about a ceiling fan. I'm not dude with the ceiling fan being above my. I've had it happen.
Yeah,
I was laying in bed and the ceiling fan fell on me.
Yeah,
I've seen all the Final Destination movies, but this is the one that was like coffee tables too, huh? Okay, never.
Great, everything now.
Yeah, this was far more effective than any of the Final Destination movies.
There's an interview that the director did, which I need to get his name right. The director writer, what's his name? Kai Cassis. Kaye Cassis. He did an interview with Variety, and I'll just read a paragraph here where he was asked, how did the idea of the film come about? And he said, "We had the idea very clear for years. I love genre films, but few films really scare me. So I asked myself, what scares me most in life? And the answer was not ghosts, monsters, or zombies. What scares me the most in real life, a cruel destiny, the bad luck that any of us can have, and the terrible things that could happen to us in life. I believe that hell exists, and it's not a place with fire and the devil. Hell is what we could live if destiny is cruel. So the idea was clear. The problem was that we had no money. We only had a house that a friend of mine left us and 10 days to shoot. But we knew that the script was very powerful. Everyone who read it was shocked. So that, despite not having resources, time, or money, we decided to film."
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
Jesus
awesome,
Christ.
What
Yeah.
a badass.
I kept trying to find the budget. I couldn't find an answer on what they had
I'm
spent
sure it was
on it.
nothing.
How much of it went towards that fucking table? Because we know it was expensive. So it's still a bargain.
Here's the thing.
That was the actual salesman.
Yeah, exactly. We got to buy a coffee table for the movie. Film this interaction so that we don't have to cast him.
I'll be honest. If it wasn't for the glass, I would own that table. I think that's a. I know that that's a gaudy as fuck table, and
it's a fun table. Yeah,
it's a fun table.
Just marble top, maybe something.
Yeah.
Something that's actually unbreakable.
Marble still break.
It's funny that
it could.
So I watched this with a buddy of mine who lives in a different state, but we just we're texting all right, let's start it, and we're watching it around the same time. And I'm looking through. It's my buddy John. I'm sure he's listening. So what's up, John? If I go through our text messages, it's just 90 minutes of I'm having a hard time breathing. This is rough. I'm fucking losing it, man. Jesus. And then there's a million times where we just kept writing P F F F F F F T. Just it's what the fuck? It's just so many. It's all just 3-word, 4-word sentences. Can't do this. I'm not okay. He's gonna blame it on her somehow. I think he's talking about the neighbor's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh no. Both of us wrote at the same time. The dog, the head. Fuck.
I had the same fucking reaction.
Yeah. I texted you, Derek. Whenever she said that the dog, I texted Derek. I was like, "Oh shit, the dog."
Yeah. Gut wrenching.
Yeah.
Just so the next day, I was talking to my wife Katie, and I'm like, "I'm so glad I didn't watch that with you."
Oh my god!
And she's like, "So was it that bad?" And without even really being asked, I just went into the full explanation of what the movie was, beyond a synopsis. I'm like, "All right, here's what happened." And I'm just going into it, and she was fucking distraught of just me explaining the movie. And she was like, "Oh my god,
it's effective, man!" That's an effective obviously the script was effective because they were all fucking they knew exactly how to play it, and even that's how effective it is even in just you telling her what it is. It's fucked up.
That's the ending.
Is there a more relatable, even if you don't have kids, you can maybe some of these people can't apparently, but you can kind of tune in to what you would even consider. And I was I honestly, I was worried about you watching it, Derek.
Well, I'll tell you this. And I'm not going to speak for everybody that has kids, but
no, go ahead. It's fine. There's not that many of them.
Well, it's for not even when even way before they're born, even throughout pregnancy, it's just you're just so afraid of everything going wrong, right? And because it does. In some instances, it does go wrong, right? And then he's born, and I remember the first especially the first 48 hours, but then the first 3 months of just constantly having to look is he still breathing? Is he okay? Is he still
You're
breathing?
right.
You know what I mean? Like just constantly having to check that. And then just being scared of something happening because they're just so goddamn fragile. And it's just something
and
that
it's
could easily
entirely
just...
your responsibility.
Yeah.
mean?
And you don't feel equipped to have that responsibility. No one does, right? They always say you're not ready. You just kind of figure it out, which is true. But yeah, it's like it's entirely your responsibility. There's no manual, as everyone says, right? You just figure it out. And it's like, I don't know how to fucking do this, man. Like you go to the hospital, they come out, and it's like, all right, good luck. Like tap on the ass and you're out the door. And I just remember driving home down La Cienega in fucking Hollywood or in Beverly Hills, wherever the fuck. And I just remember just going like 5 miles an hour as the kids in the back seat. And like, I don't know if that car seat's in properly. I thought it was, but I tried so hard and just like, and it's just that anxiety. And I feel this movie captures, and just like the director was just saying, it's your worst fucking nightmare. And I guess that's where it is as a parent watching it. Like, like you were scared of something like that happening, and
I
you
think
fucking witness it. And
from the outsider point of view, I felt like it portrayed it perfectly. Cause like, okay, he's being shitty. Like their banter is like, oh, he doesn't like the name and shit. But then like, as soon as she's gone, he loves that fucking kid.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
And like, maybe I turned the volume down for the 20 minutes of crying.
Yeah, so did I.
But also, like, I was like, that shows how much he cares. Like, he's really like, fucking trying. He's really a good dude. And oh no, that crying has stopped now.
Yeah, for me, it was because obviously I don't have kids, but for me, it was the anxiety surrounding the idea that your life is going one way and then literally in one accident, it's done.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, done. Even if I were to live after that, you're done.
It's still over. You're
done. That's far more than somebody attacking you or a sickness or disease or something like that where you lose a kid. But this is like just a simple fucking, oh shit, I tripped.
Horrific accident.
How could you ever? I could not see how you could ever get past it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. No. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be possible.
Well, look, I mean, even to use Justin's example of someone losing a kid to a sickness, and it could go like you don't even people don't get over that. It's just
and that's and at least in that situation, unfortunately, but obviously it's so unfortunate. But you could at least look at that and be like, well, it's something removed. It's something external from my world that came in,
and it's something that you have no control over,
right?
Like, and this is technically maybe you don't have control over your Butterfingers, but at the same time, in the moment that mattered, you did.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just the Butterfingers. You're spiraling over the fact that you shouldn't have bought the fucking table in the first place. Like, if you just listened to your wife, this wouldn't happen. Was it the manufacturer for not having the screw? Like,
And
don't store your glass coffee table glass upright like a guillotine edge. Put it flat. So
as soon as he was like, "Oh, I'll put the glass right here," I'm like, "Nope, don't do it."
Yeah,
even if it's sold to you as unbreakable.
Yeah, right.
Fucking dick.
Nothing is unbreakable.
Yeah. I had a note while I was watching it towards the end. I just made a note that said, "Why?" I put "haha," but it's like, why am I even watching this? Like, at what point? Like, what is the point of exploring things like this? Because to me, like, we just released our episode on Martyrs a couple weeks ago, and I know, Josh, you weren't here for, but you've seen Martyrs. Right?
I have seen Martyrs. Yes.
So to me,
big fan.
I love Martyrs. I thought it was great.
Good.
So, but like to me, I'm sure. But
I'll rewatch Martyrs.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like I'm sure somebody out there will disagree with me. That's fine. But to me, this movie was worse than Martyrs in terms of how the anxiety, how the tension,
for sure.
oh my God, are you fucking serious? Like, that's not to downplay Martyrs by any means.
No.
But
I've never seen a movie that made me react the way this movie made me react. Yeah. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I really can't either.
I can't think of one.
It's
that made me react that way.
Yeah, it's the worst nightmare like realism of it, because Martyrs, even though it's like human people doing fucked up human things, there's still some sort of like fantasy element to it where it's like, oh, it's this cult that does this weird shit and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
just like The Strangers or something. Everyone's like, that's the scariest because it could really happen. I was like, yeah, but you're not gonna have like 3 masked people like in your Airbnb. Like, it's still fictionalized. Whereas this one's like, no, freak accidents happen all the time, and it's the absolute worst possible fucking result.
Because there's something you could do in the situation of The Strangers.
Yeah, you could fight back.
You could fight back. You could call the cops. You could move, set your house on fire. You
cops
could,
don't do shit, but
like there's something that you could do in that situation. No matter how absurd or ridiculous or small, there's something you could do.
Yeah, but it's the helplessness in this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to downplay Martyrs because I having read that, especially for women, like that movie obviously hit a very tough chord for the content in it. But this one, for some reason, just felt like it was different in a very unique way that I've never really seen another movie touch on.
Yeah.
It struck a chord with babies, this one, for sure.
That's for sure. Babies are not into this movie.
Yeah, pulled real low.
Babies.
What's funny is
babies don't like this movie.
Yeah.
The maybe this was one of the comedy elements is that, like, because the music was so good at like the timing with the music and like contributing to the tension. But there was a moment, because obviously you have to have it with subtitles on. So I don't know if you had subtitles for everything, but mine was giving me subtitles for the music. So there's like this really tense, deep moment where everyone's just stewing, and then at the bottom of the screen in brackets it just says guitar. And then a few minutes later it's like synth. And I'm like, okay. Like, thanks.
It takes you out a little bit.
Yeah. Wait, and I'm like, I needed the translation. I don't need you to tell me when instruments are happening right now.
That did make me think, because that does take you out a little bit, right? When you see something like that. And I was watching, I was like, thank God I'm not watching this on Tubi. Like, maybe it would have helped to get a little bit of relief during a commercial, but it really would have ruined the experience, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, he just like picks up the baby's body. There's blood everywhere, and you're like, oh my God. And it's like, it's a chick dude.
Oh man.
It's a rough one, man. So you guys are doing the coffee table t-shirts, right?
It's just the
and onesies,
the blood stain from the neck. Again, just the blood stain from the neck.
Of course. God.
And they all come with a complimentary piece of glass.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. I'm glad we're not the only fucked up ones on this thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Jesus.
It's crazy because that came out 2 years ago, right?
Really?
The release date. Yeah, the release date is 2022, but all the hype is right now. Yeah, it's weird because on Prime it says 2024, but if you look everywhere else, that came out in Spain in 2022. What brought all the hype now?
I think it might have premiered in a festival, or
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
that's maybe what it is.
Yeah, over there.
Fantastic Fest, maybe.
I think so. I saw somebody on Letterboxd mention that. So I think it probably just debuted over there.
You know what? Not fantastic.
No. No.
Rebels with a Cause slate of the Tallinn Black Nights Film Festival 2022. And also made it to the slate of the 2023 Fantaspoa for its Latin American premiere, and of the 2023 Fantastic Fest lineup for the North American premiere.
Yeah,
got it. Okay,
a lot of indie films have to go that route where it's like they premiere at festivals, and it takes 2 years to get on streaming or to get a Blu-ray distribution release.
Okay,
because a lot of those festivals are you trying to sell your movie to distributors.
Yeah,
at the same time.
I guess
so
it was
probably.
Self-distributed in Spain bypass us to a few screens and then earn some buzz after Stephen King saw it and like touted it. When Stephen King recommended it, it did
good guy
pretty
Stephen
well.
King.
Good guy, Stephen King. You ever read Gerald's Game?
I could watch that degloving scene 20 more times before I watch this fucking movie again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you know,
man.
James, you made a comment earlier because to go back to my comment of like, what's the point of watching this? Like, what purpose does this serve? But like, the more that I keep ruminating on that thought, because that was not a pleasant experience. It's not like I left fucking completely distraught or anything, but it was not. It's not like I'm ever going to watch that movie again. But like the fact that it elicited so much something in, like when I suggested it, and because I had absolutely zero expectations.
Yeah.
But when Derek, you said your reactions on our group chat, I was like, okay, cool. Maybe this will have some potential. And then when James, you said the exact same thing this morning, I was like, oh shit.
I was so worried of how to like phrase mine, because from me, I don't know what you're going to expect. I think is good.
Right.
And I was like,
all have different tastes.
Is this going to hit the note that Justin's looking for right now?
Yeah.
And like, I'm so glad that it kind of
did. Is it going to scratch that itch that Justin has to just see?
Because like, I was like, I think it's fucked, but maybe Justin's going to be like, that was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I watched every minute of it, and I don't know.
Baby's head? I missed that, guys. There's a baby's head.
Yeah.
I saw the doll head.
Yeah. But so once you guys had that reaction, I was like, okay, good. Like this should be good then. And then the fact that Josh, you didn't say anything after I knew you started it, I was like, this is gonna hit.
And I'm glad I didn't. I was gonna watch it Wednesday night. I had 2 opportunities to watch it earlier this week, and then like some family shit came up, and I'm so glad I didn't watch it on those nights then, because I would have been like, this is not how I want to like deal with what I'm going through. So this morning, like everything's been kind of cleared up. I was like, all right, breakfast, coffee, Kimmy left for work. And I was like, I'm just going to get this movie out of the way while I relax before I like shower and do lunch, whatever. And so, I watched it at like 10 a.m. And I was just like sitting on the couch, just fucking catatonic. Like, what's he going to do?
And
no, the dog. God damn it. No. Oh.
And it's like
he's holding it. He's holding it for a very long time.
Yeah, that scene's rough with the brother.
That scene's
crying.
Fucking insane.
That's rough.
The fucking chaos of that moment is so incredible.
It's so well done.
It's insane.
18-year-old chick just puking. And
now, like, to think that they filmed that in 10 days.
10 days.
That's nuts.
10 days.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm so glad that the 13-year-old girl got what she fucking deserved.
Well, she only got an anxiety attack. I think she got off light.
But you know what?
She got off light.
Yeah, she got off light. But I bet you she'll think fucking twice about starting some shit.
That's karma. That's karma.
That stain's never coming out of that dog.
Yeah.
No.
But I think the point of this movie is just to make it, like, you have a really fucked up nightmarish idea. You want to make a genre film that isn't the typical genre film, which, I mean, I appreciate all of those too.
Yeah.
But you're like, I have this idea. It's super bleak. It's super fucked up, but I have a strong script. And I feel like if acted and executed correctly, this could be a memorable, like, piece of art. And it's not supposed to make you feel good, but it's really fucking well done.
But I'll always remember that movie.
And I
Exactly.
would say, like, take this and compare it to Serbian film, because those are the only 2 movies that I can think of that involve a baby in a fucked up way. Like, Serbian film feels exploitative of it, where this is like, obviously it technically is exploitative of it, but they never show anything. They never, it's never like, it's so hard to talk about it, because it's like, that's not the point, but it is the point.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so good about this movie, is it's both things at the same time. Like, you love it, but also you fucking hate it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Serbian film was fucked up for the sake of being fucked up. More where this one was like, no, it's fucked up, but that's just what we needed to really elicit this,
tell this
like
story.
nightmarish, helpless feeling in the audience. There's a story here.
Yeah.
Like, because a Serbian film just feels like somebody's like, what could we do that's going to make people really fucking mad and really sick? Like, what's the most fucked up shit we could put in the third act?
Which does lack creativity, because anybody can come up with just fucked up ideas and just do it for the sake of being fucked up without having an actual like good plot written out. And
like, it's not hard to just go and like sit in a room and be like, what's the worst fucking thing I can come up with? It's hard to make the worst fucking thing you can come up with actually sort of entertaining.
Very believable, grounded in reality, and it's not, a million fantastical ideas piled on top of each other, and you could just build on that. It's one event, realistic, happens, and the horror that just happens for 90 minutes after that. This one was go ahead. I want to see this guy's other movies, because he has a couple other movies that look promising. So he has one from 2017 called Killing God. And it seems to have some decent reviews.
Nice.
So I'm curious to see his other movies. He has another one that was a little more recent. I forget what that one was called, but I want to see what else this guy has done.
Check that out.
You know what I want to see? A sequel.
I
felt that
the brother and his
where the brother inherits the coffee table.
He's got a kid on the way. They got a kid on the way.
No.
Now it turns into a fucking paranormal movie.
Exactly. It turns into a Friday the 13th franchise with the spirit of the baby.
It has the spirit of the
old
slasher. There you go.
The baby's some like 35-year-old jack dude that wears a mask and stuff.
And he can take his head off and throw it at you.
He's got a doll head in place of his real head or something.
Oh, a doll head. That's really good. That's really good. It's
the
porcelain.
Baby goes to space.
I thought that the final shot of the as the camera was zooming in at the table with the image of the parents holding the baby. That was such a like twist of the knife.
I kind of liked it.
No, I liked it. I liked it.
Not like in a fuck way. Like I liked it in like a wholesome way. Like
it was a weird like razor's edge line where I'm like, okay, that sucks that you guys can't have that, and then it's like, wow, that's really fucked up that you can't.
So we've all said it. We've all said it a number of times that we're not going to rewatch this. I could see
I might
at some point in the future where you're talking with some buddies and like, what's the most fucked up movie you've ever seen? It's like, well, you guys want to watch it? Like, I'll watch it. Let's go. Like maybe.
To be fair, currently you guys are the guys that I would do that to. So.
It was like me being like, you guys got to watch Eden Lake now so we can talk about it. But I could. But that's the thing, is this isn't something I would throw on with my buddies unless I was like, are we calling it a night on happiness? Like, are we like, because I'm having a great time, like drinking beers and kicking back and listening to music. If you want to see one of the most fucked up movies I've ever sat through, we can do that. But we're not going to return to this level of joy.
I don't really assign it like homework anymore.
You assign it like homework. Watch it this week.
I'm like, don't watch any trailers. Don't read anything about it. Don't listen to the podcast I was on. Just press play.
Oh, now it's just a plug for the podcast.
Listen to it after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, night's done after that. Yeah, my whole day was done.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything after.
I waited to watch it until 3 a.m.
Well, a lot of times with the movies that we watch for this podcast, just because of my schedule, I sometimes can't finish the whole movie in the night that I start it. I'll do it in chunks, and I normally don't like doing that, but just to be able to get it done, And this one, it was like, all right, I know we're recording Sunday night. I won't be able to watch it Saturday, and it was Friday. I was like, well, let me see if I could just get a half hour in, and then I'll try to finish it at some point before we shoot. And I couldn't turn it off.
I couldn't
turn it off. Half hour.
Yeah, so you can't just pause it After that, you're like, oh,
I mean, that's what I did with every fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and there's no problem doing that, right?
Yeah, no.
But with this, but I didn't know. I didn't know what I was getting into. Like the plan was, I'm not going to finish this because it was late, and I ended up finishing it at like 1 something in the morning. I was like, God damn it! I fucking stayed up for that.
Hold on. So bringing up Nightmare, can we at least say that Freddy's Dead is better than this one?
I don't.
I don't think you, Josh.
Freddy's Dead is more fun than this one.
Yeah, everything's more fun.
There's definitely
than this
fewer
movie.
dead babies in Freddy's Dead.
I've seen
every movie's more fun than this movie.
What was the what did this get on Rotten Tomatoes? Because it got like a 6.
Surprisingly,
it did pretty well. It got some strong reviews. Yeah,
85% tomato meter, 81% audience score.
Damn.
What's crazy is the audience score. There's not a lot of people. There's only 50. It says fewer than 50 ratings on the audience score, and it's 34 reviews on the tomato meter. And on Letterboxd, because it's getting popular now, right? Everyone's starting to watch it now. So it's 18,000 people have logged it on Letterboxd. So those numbers are starting to go up. But his other movie, let me pull it up. Killing God, or Matar a Dios. It's let's see, 2,400. Yeah, 2,400 people have logged that one. So way less people have seen that movie. Only 320 reviews on Letterboxd for that one.
It's a prequel to Coffee Table, where it shows how the coffee table kills God and becomes all powerful.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You guys want to go over what we logged this for Letterboxd and explain why?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Who's going first?
I'll
James,
go first. So since I brought it up. So I actually logged this one. I logged it at 2.5 stars because I've decided that the way that I log these is how rewatchable they are, kind of. Like, a perfect movie is something that I can rewatch a million times and not hate it. So, like, The Thing is a perfect movie. So, while I fucking love this movie, I also fucking hate this movie. So, 2.5 stars. I feel like never watch this again.
With that logic, this should be a 0.5 star, dude. Like that, if we're using that grading scale.
But I might watch it again, which is a testament to how good the movie is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I do kind of want to study it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's what I was saying earlier. I remember saying it to you guys. I think it was the night I watched it. I sent an audio in our chat. I was I'm perplexed. I don't know how to, because it's a very well made movie, and I'm impressed with what they did and the amount of emotion it was able to bring just to experience while watching it. It's like, God damn,
different emotions too. Like, you get to see get to see the them hate each other sorta, but not, and then and then you get to see them love each other and stuff, and then it's all over. It's amazing.
And then you get to see all the hope drained from both of their lives.
Gone.
At least the wife did. At least the wife didn't have to deal with that hopelessness for long.
Yeah, that's true.
Silver linings,
for
an hour.
For like an hour. And he had
which
to
felt
chop
like
onions.
Yeah, it felt like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way that I would.
You guys want to see a magic trick? I could make a 2-hour movie feel like 10.
What'd you guys rate it?
I gave it
4 stars.
Yeah, I was like, I gave it 4 stars.
We both did. I saw we both did 4.
Yeah, I changed it to 4 before, because originally I did 3.5. But the more that I thought about it, I still don't. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I do that a lot. Like, I do have a hard time. No, but yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Because like the more that I watch it, or the more that I think about it, like there's the fact that it's able to pull that kind of a reaction without relying on over the top gore or over the top something. Like, this concept was over the top, but it was done in such a subdued way where it's not like you see it happen. It just lets you sit in it. And that's...
And like, it wouldn't have worked. I don't think it would have worked if you showed it. Because like, the whole point of it is that you're, like you said, you're keeping the secret with him. You're the only person other than Jesus that knows what the fuck is going on.
It makes you want to say, hey guys, this fucking happened. Yeah. And you can't.
Well, and I would say not showing it, because I was worried. Like I said, I knew what was going to happen already, but I was worried they were going to show it, and that's why everyone thought it was the most fucked up movie ever. Right, but I feel like if we had actually seen him fall into the table and like a fake baby head get taken off and like roll across the floor and it's all bloody, that would have been more slapstick. And now you've seen this, and it's like that makes it more of a comedy. Hearing the crying just immediately cease, and then seeing the aftermath, now you have to play it in your head like how this happened, which is only going to be worse.
And it's pure Texas Chainsaw, right? Like it's pure old school where like they don't show anything.
Yeah.
You filled the whole thing in your head, and that's way more fucked up for anyone.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I gave it 4 and just said this one's going to stick with me for a minute. Probably shouldn't have watched it while in the process of furniture shopping. An exceptional pitch black comedy that had my attention the whole time. I may never watch it again though. I might watch it again. It's going to be a minute. Like it's not going to be one I throw on regularly, but it might be something where I'm like, I think I'm ready to revisit this one because I remember loving it.
It's a truly unforgettable movie. Like it's
but we are couch shopping right now, and I'm like, I don't think we need a reclining couch anymore, because you know how many living things get caught in there? Those gears.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't even have a couch. Maybe we just get rid of our existing couch and we just put yoga mats in the living room from now on. Just
I'm
in
thinking
case.
about getting rid of all of my furniture.
Yeah. We don't need a refrigerator. Let's just put stuff in a cooler. Like,
I think my whole house is just going to be glass coffee tables from now on. Like a fucking saw trap in here.
James, I told you don't bring your fucking kids over to my place. Like this is.
Did you not watch the movie?
I don't want friends with kids coming over.
Get a glass couch.
It's a glass couch. Yeah,
glass couch. It's super uncomfortable. I know, but.
That's a sequel.
Decisions have to be made.
I gotta hold my weight off of it. This is horrible.
Just hover.
No, it's unbreakable. Let it go.
Oh man.
It's also crazy how it broke. Like now, not to get like into analytics or anything, but I just remember the scene in Wolf of Wall Street where Jonah Hill's character is like choking and he falls backwards onto the table and it shatters. And you think glass furniture like that is supposed to shatter into a million pieces, like sugar glass almost. Like that's how you see people break coffee tables and shit like that. And this one's just like, no, the coffee table just cracked in half and then became a fucking guillotine.
Like because
it's just huge jagged piece just still sticking out of the floor.
Yeah, because I actually took a picture of one of the scenes because I was like, "How is that your new wallpaper?
Happen? You sociopath!"
I'm sitting there watching it. As I'm watching it, I'm like trying to pay attention, and then in my head to go, "How did that happen?
Yeah,
like how did he fall to allow that to fucking happen?
Right.
And so." Everything the editing was going too fast, so I had to take a picture and stare at it. Then once I stopped and like looked at it, I was like, "Oh, that's how." Now it makes sense.
Did you figure it out? Because I was still. I assumed he was bending over to look at it, and the way the glass was being pressured on the way it was leaning on something, I felt like the pressure of what it was leaning on eventually just caused it to crack down the middle.
He fell because whenever he does fall. He does fall because when the camera. When it finally shows him, when the camera goes from the hallway to him, he's on the ground, he's getting up, and his hand there's glass all in his right hand.
Right. Okay.
So I think he trips.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And as he's falling, he falls on the top half of the glass because the glass is sticking up like this. So he falls on it. So it just
Yeah,
I see.
And you have to study the blood splatter too, because obviously it's.
I'm not going to do that.
There's a dip in the glass.
You could tell it's distinctly baby shaped.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, that's not even a joke. It literally is.
I remember noticing that. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back and like. I'll take your word for it though.
No. I think you should go back. Let's do a real deep dive on this.
Frame by frame.
Yeah.
I told Derek this, but I don't know if you guys caught this. In the baby's room, on the wall, there's a painting, and it's of Frankenstein monster and the little girl that he throws into the lake that he kills. I thought that was a good touch. There's little things like that. Like that's where I found, going back to what we were saying earlier, that is where I feel a lot of the comedic elements. I feel like the writer and the directors, or the writers and director, were just poking fun at this whole thing everywhere that they could find. Whether it was in the dialogue or stuff like that. So subtle.
Well, I don't know if there was a writer's room for it, because I don't know how many people wrote it, but like the fucking set for this must have been fucking hilarious.
I would imagine.
Like, just because first off, like, so much tension, they have to fucking just be being ridiculous. And also, like, how could we make this more like fucking weird and awkward and like, oh man, but also 10 days, it was probably very stressful too.
I would imagine you guys reacted the same way I did when the brother and his girlfriend show up. As they walk in through the door, I went through my arms, and they're like, God, and fuck, like this has made it so much worse.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
now
also, you gotta from the alternate movie that was running in my head, I was like, in his head, he's like, oh, of course, now I gotta deal with this motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought
fucking
they're gonna die now.
Bullshit.
So did I.
He's gonna kill everybody.
I really was convinced that they were going to find out, or they were about to find out, and he was going to snap and accidentally kill somebody.
Right.
But I guess that's a testament to how good this
movie
is.
Or complete bumble in like, somehow everyone just fucking Rube Goldberg machine gets killed.
But here's the thing, right? Like all these scenarios where we were anticipating it going left or right and straying from the direction it actually did go, that would have been the perfect examples of the lack of creativity and just coming up with bad ideas and like, oh, and then he slashes her throat and fucking throws him, like that would have been me writing it. It would have been awful. Like the way they fucking wrote it, and it just stuck in realism, and it made it so much more fucking suspenseful and the tension was so
it is kind of a Hitchcock movie.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
that's a great point.
I think more filmmakers of today need to take a play on this.
Yeah, well, that's why I love foreign movies.
Guys. Come on.
Foreign films. No one in the U.S. would make that movie.
No one.
No one here would make that movie.
No, because they're all worried about distribution, and nobody in the U.S. would fucking buy that movie and like try to put it in theaters or anything.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I love
clearly
watching.
Shows that that's bullshit, because I mean, it's getting distributed.
Well, it is now. I think you need that hype. Like as soon as it goes viral on TikTok, somebody's like, we gotta get behind this. But
I'm very glad that at least one of these TikTok viral phenomenons paid off. I don't think it paid off. I don't think it paid off in the way a lot of people wanted it to pay off.
No,
but it paid off.
Lived up to the
paid
hype.
off for me.
That kind of hype, it rarely ever lives up to it, and this time it really did.
I think for me it lived up to a completely different hype, because I was expecting something different. I was like, oh no, this is like a legitimately great movie. This isn't just let's make it fucked up.
I'm impressed that all four of us are in on it, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're in on it in a way that, as much as,
but none of us are like, yo, fuck this movie completely.
No. I this is the kind of movie that, not that I want to watch this content all the time, but I'm always after
I like that we have to keep restating it. Like, look, we don't want to watch dead babies all the time.
Look, I'm not sitting home like snacking on popcorn, hoping more infants die. I'm just saying, every once in a while, I want to see a baby. No,
every once in a while,
one or two.
One or two.
I do
give me that.
Genuinely want to know if anyone is listening that thought this movie is tame. What the fuck is up to you? And if you say the vomit gore trilogy, so help me God.
Yeah, but that's what I think would be the answer. Going back to what we were saying earlier,
they need to see the gore.
They just need like snuff shit, and I'm like, that's not the same.
Not a psychiatrist.
Yeah,
you need drugs. Like,
I'm sure a lot of them would agree with you.
Yeah, but I think it's more people are used to the kind of film where it's so visually graphic, visually intense, and it's visually pummeling.
Yeah,
like that's all Terrifier 1 and 2 is. And I think that's what so many people have equated to. Oh, this is a fucked up movie. Like, look what he does. He just cuts this person in half, and like he's playing with their intestines. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And for so long, that's been the benchmark. You know, that's been the playbook.
Yeah, not this.
No, you got to be a really, really great filmmaker to have all of that play in your audience's head, and it's not happening on the screen, right? It's happening off screen.
Yeah.
And you really, to effectively do that, you're a great filmmaker.
Like that's the point where filmmaking becomes a magic trick.
Yeah.
Where like you're performing magic because now you never did it. You never did any of it, but you made the viewer become the movie.
Yeah, it's there.
That's that's incredible.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that I don't appreciate.
I can't stop saying 10 days. That's insane.
Yeah. The 10 days thing blows my mind. I didn't know that going in. So thank you for finding that info, Derek, because that is wild.
Yeah.
That's what I do, man. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. But I was not to say that I don't appreciate like those movies. Like I love the Terrifier movies too. And that's but I feel like it's two, like you said, two completely different ends of the spectrum where it's like this one is showcasing some incredible practical effects, and that's gore for gore's sake, and it's fun and it's cool. Awesome. This is like legitimately a gut punch fucked up like internally. Like
this is fucked up.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Terrifier.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not as good of a movie. But I for sure rather watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when I can throw on with my friends and just be like, watch this wild shit. And then we'd still have a good time for the rest of the night. Yeah.
And you know what? Terrifier pulls really well with babies.
Yeah. It really does.
True,
They
love clowns.
They love clowns.
Yeah. I read that poll.
I've never seen a baby not like a clown.
Yeah. No. Once they hit like 5, then it kind of goes downhill. But for that,
that's when we were 5 and Pennywise first really got
Oof.
Yeah.
All right.
But my review, I rarely write reviews, but for this, I gave it 4 stars, but I just want everybody to know I hate this movie. So I had to write
it feels fair.
It is weird.
Fair,
like 5 stars. Like, love this movie. Like, you have to really let people know.
Yeah. This is a great movie that I never want to see again.
I watched this movie about dead babies and I do not like it. However, it is a 4-star movie.
I can't recommend this movie.
Yeah. Just like there's 1-star movies that I'll watch once a week. So
I can't recommend this movie, although I can't recommend it enough. It's you should still watch it.
I will not recommend this movie, but I will recommend 5 1-star movies.
Yeah.
This is actually this is totally one of those where I'm like, I have no idea who to recommend it to. I do recommend it, but I don't want you to blame me when you watch it.
Right.
If you watched it on my recommendation.
I recommended it to a couple people last night.
But you hate those people, so it's fine.
Do any of them have kids?
They were assholes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. They all have kids?
No, one of them doesn't. No, and so my buddy David, who's out
and
here.
And now they never will.
My buddy David out here. I did give him that warning, and we discussed the movie before it actually came out. And then I watched it, and I saw him last night. I'm like, hey, man, I watched it. And he saw the same Anthony Jeselnik clip that we all saw, where he does say, I get it. If you're a parent, like, I get why you wouldn't want to see this movie.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, like sure, it's true. But as you guys said, it doesn't take having a kid to understand. To make it unwatchable. Not an easy watch.
Not that you required this in any way, but I'm sure that in a certain really fucking fucked up, twisted way, it kind of strengthens your bond with your kid. Because you're like, man, I'm not gonna fucking like take anything.
Because then you'll never put them down again.
Right. Never put. His kid is next to him on a chair right now.
Right. But I recommended that movie to 2 guys last night in the same way that I would have recommended it to you guys, right? Because I feel like we are always on this never-ending journey to see a fucked up movie. And if there is going to be a fucked up movie out there that's so incredibly well made, recommend it to me. Yeah. And fuck you for making me watch it. But, I do want to watch it. I do want to see it. And I feel that's what's, that's kind of what
thank you,
we do.
Yeah, exactly. Put that on
just so you know. Yeah, fuck you, thank you. That's good. Just so you know, Derek, I saw Katie's picture of your guys' kid in her in her stories of her of your guys' kid climbing in the fridge earlier today.
Oh yeah, that was today. Yeah.
And I saw that after watching this movie, and I was like, guys,
that was
no.
You learned
she was at work. She was at work. I took that picture. It was just me and him. I didn't think of freak accidents happening, but
God,
Derek.
I guess this movie doesn't affect people that hard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look.
Kids.
Like,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's not an infant. It's fine now.
Yeah. It's 3. It's 3.5.
You got to be able to protect yourself from coffee tables at this point.
Yeah. You got to toughen up, dude.
Derek's got his son fucking in like martial arts, but it's specifically martial arts against coffee tables.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Buying rubber coffee tables to practice on. This is how you fall on it, dude. Like, if you're gonna fall, you got to learn how to fall gracefully on coffee tables.
Yeah.
You want to push off.
Yeah. So your grace turn into it. Turn into it.
No, don't turn into it. Do not turn into it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right.
Yeah.
That's solid 70 minutes. We did.
Yeah.
I think it's good for one movie.
Good.
Pretty good for one movie.
Yeah.
So all we got to do is find movies that kill babies, and then we can talk about it for an hour.
Yeah.
I think we could keep going. I mean, that movie, we just keep fucking going. I know he did say that he had another ending in mind, but he didn't explain what it was. In that interview with Variety, he said that they always had the ending in mind before they were like, it was already written. They knew the ending, but while filming, he said he came up with a different ending, but he didn't have the money for it. And that maybe if he were to ever do like a reboot, something, just like reshoot it and get the resources.
I'd love to see what that ending would be, but also there's no way that you can recapture the vibe a second time.
No,
No.
That would be wild.
It was a perfect. Yeah,
alternate endings always piss me off. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
Like they're fun to discuss. Like, oh, that's it. But it's like, pick one, man. Like,
Well, sometimes they're superior because it's what the director wanted, and then it's always the studio that's like, no, we need a happy ending, so
that's
this.
very true.
And they're like, all right, can I at least put mine on the Blu-ray? And then you watch the Blu-ray and you're like, this would have been so much better.
That's fair point. Yeah, that's
that
true.
Was like complete side note. I was reading because Dark City is on Tubi, so I was going to do a video about that one because I fucking love that movie so much.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize that he wanted it to be completely like ambiguous, like you don't know what the fuck's going on, and you kind of have to like figure it out and piece it together. And the studio was like, "Can you do a narration at the very beginning of the movie that explains who the strangers are and what they're doing?" And he's like, I guess. And so that's why if you watch the theatrical version, it opens with them explaining what you're about to fucking watch. And I'm like, oh, I think I've only, like, I saw it in theaters. I just don't remember any of it, but I own the director's cut, and he had it removed in the director's cut.
Gotcha.
He was like, I don't want to open the film with, here's the entire plot. Go.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But that's, an example of that's an alternate beginning, I guess, not an alternate ending. But yeah, they do piss me off, especially when you open up like what was it, X-Men 3 or whatever, had like 5 of them, and it had like 50 alternate or deleted scenes, and I was like, oh, Brett Ratner had no idea what the fuck he was doing, did he? Like,
yeah.
Like, let's just film everything.
I don't know how many episodes ago it was when we did 1408, but I remember there was like 4 different endings to that movie, and I was, which one is it?
What happened?
like fucking pick one, man.
Now you can fuck those out. Like,
that's
what
it feels like. They just didn't know how to end it, and they're like, "Do you think this ending's better, or do you think this ending's better?" And it's all like, "Let's do them all, and then just audience test."
Yeah.